Hello, everybody. So for today, we're just going to be talking about some more deadlines, maybe some ideas for your multimodal project, and then maybe a quick example of how to just put together a sort of video just really quickly. And I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So I'm just going to have this in the background a little bit, just the video that I had assigned to you today. This is just somebody using Prezi to make their multimodal presentation, and it's just a how-to of what way to go through this process and how to upload PowerPoints to this and do that quickly from there. But anyway, so something that I've been thinking about first off is that there is something else. The polished draft and the rough draft are a week apart, with the rough draft to me due this Saturday and the polished draft due the week after. As I've been thinking about it, and as I realized that my time to make comments is kind of long, because I try to leave so much feedback on everybody's stuff, although there are a few who don't get that much feedback because there's not much to comment on. But usually going through your papers and making comments can take anywhere from 30 minutes up to an hour and a half each, depending on how many comments I'm making. It's also been as little as like 5 or 10 minutes, which are always wonderful. But anyway, the rough draft still is due this Saturday, but just to give me a little more time to make comments and to give you a little bit of extra time to make revisions, I'm going to push this back a few days. So instead of it being due on the 18th, I'm going to make it due on the night of the 22nd. So I'm going to say the 21st, but whatever. We'll go with the 22nd. And I'll just make a note, changed. This is on the last slide, so these will still be up there. I'll post I'll post an announcement after I do this video with the new timeline anyway, so this won't really be news to you at that point. So anyway, yeah, so we've got that going. Now, in regards to making a video, there are several different steps you can take in order to do this. For this example, I'll just, on the spot, just make a few second video and then just put it all together with multiple parts, so you can get an idea of how that works as well if you want to do something like this instead of this video that, okay, yeah, it's still going. He's just talking for a while, but I have it muted. If you're using anything Microsoft related, it already comes with, oh, well, I can't do that on the spot. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back with that. Let's pull this up. So stop and resume recording. Okay, so I'm back. Just recorded a few things really quick. I forgot that it was going to make me do that. Okay, I didn't forget. I didn't know it was going to do that. So now what you do that you have your videos in order. You pull up whatever program that you're going to be using to edit these things. Personally, I have just started using, I don't care, Adobe Premiere Elements, mostly because I paid for a month of it. I'm gonna get my month out of it. It's $20 a month with a student account or a faculty account, and you can also have a 7-day free trial. Although another one that's decent is the DaVinci Resolve, which is very similar, but it's more likely to crash or fail on you when you're using it. So, but if you're making like a quick 5-minute video, this is less likely to happen. It's just I was making a 16-minute video for a class one, 16 or 12. And then when I was putting in all my extra bits of footage or just some other jokes on different slides in Google searches, the process kept failing, and I ended up having to remove like half the extra content from my video, and it really was frustrating, the whole experience. So that's why I ended up using Adobe anyway. You don't have to, but it's just a suggestion. That's what I'm going to be using today for this example, and it's really not that hard. It shouldn't take you too long if you're just speaking. with a video and you're putting in little bits and pieces for 5 minutes, you're looking at about maybe an hour altogether of recording and putting this together and then uploading this to something like YouTube. Although it could take longer. I'm not saying that you're slow if it takes you longer than that, especially when you don't know how the whole process works. And I'm really thinking that my camera is uneven and it's been that way for so long. There we go. So I'm just going to make this little systems example, and then we're just going to get a basic sort of window open as soon as it goes. There we go. And then we're just going to find all of our project stuff, which we're going to go to. I think it saves it to video. There's a different way to do this, so I'm just going to do it the other way. You can always just take this to your videos here, and then we have, not that, you get to watch me fail to find this really quick, because I save things to somewhere and then I forget where it goes. I could have swore it was videos, but it's actually pictures because it goes to camera roll. So you see I already have here a lot of different, I wanted to keep that up in the background, but it's going to keep going by itself. A lot of different files. Get this out of the way because I already closed my window here regarding stuff I've done in the past. But these are the 3 that I made for you just a moment ago. Huh. I'm wearing that same shirt right now. I am such a dork. So source, come on. Move it over. And do it. So we're just gonna drag it down here. There are different ways to like pull it up here, and I guess I'm just failing at showing things right now. Although I think this has to do with editing. There we go. So this is how you would normally look at it. Although I have 4 things here for some reason. One of those is the same. Okay, we have a 2904, so delete one of these. I'll just put this other one in right there. So I feel like when I play this, okay, so you see here, these should be in order. Oh, well, that's wrong. So this was the second one then, and this longer one. Let me bring it over here. You know, I love when I'm trying to show things, and then I just completely forget how to do this. It doesn't let me drag and drop it, which is the dumbest thing that could be happening right now. So this is fantastic. This is just fan-freaking-tastic. Why is it not letting me do this? I'm in editing. Just bring it on over. Why can I not bring it over? This is so... I'm going to do something even, oh man, I just want to start this whole video over again. But I'm not gonna, because I'm getting messages now. You just get to watch me fail in the process of explaining things, which is just the typical thing that's going to happen when you have somebody trying to teach something, and in that moment they seem like an idiot, and this affects me worse than others because, you know, no, it doesn't affect me worse than others, but this is just par for the course. It's just exactly what you'd expect to happen. I can move this one in, but for some reason, when I try to move this one in, okay, so it's something related to just this clip, which is weird to think about. And now that I've dropped that one, oh, that's because it's, okay. Anyway, so here we're just going to drop in all of our sections. Now that I've assume I have this down, let's move this over a little bit more. Excuse me. Oh, just the grossest person. I got these in the wrong order. So, okay, so that's what happened there. You don't want to ever put things in the same row because it will just delete what comes before it. So let's try to separate okay, we're just gonna move this off here. We're just gonna move part one here, and then this one, let's look for that. Yeah, here we go. So we're just gonna stick that right in there. So all together, and it was a dumb face. Uh, so we have a few different things we can do now because we have all of our pieces in order. But you'll notice that now, probably because I'm using this headset, and in the video, there was a bit of a my voice wasn't as clear as it could be, but that's also kind of okay. You can only get such good volume um, so easily. But we'll deal with audio effects in a second. But let's focus on transitions. So the first things you can do, we have effects and transitions. I'm not expecting. Oh, Gerald, go away! Get off the screen! Get off the screen! Um, where was I? You can have a sort of introductory sort of slide as well, which, you know, I could have swore was here. Which is, you know, once again, doing excellent, excellent at actually putting this together. Because I have sat here for like hours, like putting videos together, and now I can't even freaking put together something that's like 20 seconds. Also because I'm trying to explain it, which is this is something that you'd call a think aloud strategy. If you ever have a professor who wants you to do a think aloud strategy or think aloud reading strategies, drop that class immediately. I'm kidding. I'm only half kidding. Which think aloud strategies are in the process of you reading something, you are trying to also think aloud while recording your think aloud thoughts you're having while you're reading and processing this information. I had to do this for a class that I just took, and it is something else. It is just ridiculous. And it also makes it really difficult to both think about what you're doing and then process the information that you're going through. It's just super exciting, super fun. I never would recommend. Yeah, so that's about the only thing I can say with that. And then I feel like along with that, the failure to have a basic level splash screen for my introduction is really really hurting things a bit. Okay, so finally under graphics, we have titles, which you know you have templates of different things you can put in. You should recognize this abstract and color changing thing as what I've did in the video that I showed you all. Although you have a few different things you can go with, this process is pretty easy because you do just drop it in as long as it's one of the free things. Because here's one of the issues that I don't understand with Adobe Premiere. You're already paying for this service, yet you don't have access to all of the templates that you could. Some are free, but some are paid. So you have this little icon here where it wants to charge you money for even using that screen. I don't understand why that's a thing. If you're already paying $20 a month for something, it should be, you know, free and not one of the premium little things. But I've used this one in the video you saw, so I wanted something different. So we'll just use this stupid one right here. Um, for some, okay, it's gonna load it in. So you'll see more about this in just a second. I don't know how long it could take to load in a graphics template. That time can't be accurate. It's a graphic. Thank you. Thank you. I get so impatient with things, if you can tell. Once again, you don't want to override anything you've already done. So we're just moving this out of the way and then putting this down here. So now we have this nice little screen that's going to come up when we start this, although it's not going to have anything to go with. So we're going to have to go to like text controls. You know, I thought this whole process took me like a second, and then just something. If it has 2 levels of text, then you're going to go to the next line and do it. You can change the size of it. You can change the font type of it as well. You have this really ugly font. Oh, that's an ugly font. So yeah, those are just some things that you can do to like bring it in your video. And now here I'm going to shrink this because this is way too long of an introduction. So I'm just pulling this back a little bit. And then I'm going to take these again, and I have to hit the minus key to zoom out with this. And then we're going to move this back over here. So typically those stop right when there's another clip, but this time it didn't. So excellent. So yeah, we've got that. Now, if you want, what else? Where I went earlier to do a proper transition between cuts, you do go to effects, and then you have video transitions, and they have different types of transitions that you will just stick in here. These kind of override your effects, so if you don't want to completely erase what you've got, you can go back, move it away, and then put whatever the heck you've chosen. Although it looks like this effect has to be on top of something already there. So if we hit play, we'll at least see the transition happen into me. If you did do that onto your video, it shouldn't affect it too much. You'll get what we have here. Oh, that was weird. So yeah, you just have that little bit. You can have a flip over. These all interact with your videos in different ways. These go between them. I haven't seen that message come up before. Doesn't seem to cause any sort of issue like it was trying to tell me. And then, you just have like a little bit of a page turn. I don't, yeah. Of course I paused it there. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. So there you have some basic transitions, just to let your audience know that you are at least switching topics or switching cuts, and it works just as a paragraph break in a normal paper. And then you can have an ending video, which would be similar as the graphics. I am not going to try to do that again. That just seems stupid. I don't even know how long I've been recording now, but it's been too long. So yeah, we have that. So that's some basic level of putting together some video clips. And then one other thing I wanted to go over with, it's just the thing that I can't ever get correctly, would be sound. So you really want to extend these a little bit and zoom in so that you can see the sound levels. You have a few different options here with Adobe Premiere. I have seen before, like they have things that just level your entire audio and make it a little bit quieter. But I haven't seen that described the same way that I'm used to. But, oh, okay, it's right here. It's under obsolete audio effects, and that's balance. But you can also put some filters through it. If you're familiar with what these filters do, you're probably a little bit better off. Otherwise, it's a lot of trial and error which one you wanted to actually use. But yeah, so we're just gonna go with balance because that's what it doesn't let me put it in. Oh, that's right, because I'm putting in the sound. You know, I'm just gonna keep getting mad at this thing because probably okay, let's me put the volume in, but not the balance. I don't know. Sorry about this random filter on here, and let's see what that does to my volume for this one. I'm noticing a different. I did notice a bit of a difference with that, so we're gonna undo whatever the heck I just did with that originally, and then I do want to put in this noise reduction so that you can at least not have that little bit of hissing in the background. So we'll say denoise, and let's see if that actually does anything. Okay, so that actually did exactly what I wanted. It got rid of that bit of static in the background when I was talking, and then you'll hear the difference in just a second when it goes to the next clip that doesn't have this. Okay, and then we'll put this on this third one so that you can at least hear it again without it. I don't know why I made you see. I don't know why I made you look at that face like 3 different times. Sorry, but you can at least hear the difference. That just something as basic as an effect, or some sort of audio filter can make your volume more clear. Unfortunately, I don't want to put this whole video through this process, because there's a few drawbacks. When you do this, it takes up a lot of space, tons of space. One of these videos, the 15-minute video that I made for you guys, I think it was like 3 gigabytes overall. And that's just the raw footage. Well, that's the project file that I saved. And then you have to actually go through and in the file, you have to actually export it into a certain sort of media, which also takes up another gigabyte or two. And if you just have a stupid amount of space, you can pure like I do, which is only 500 gigabytes because I didn't want to buy an SSD that was above that because they're expensive. Then that's just things you have to deal with. Really, with the format, you shouldn't have to change anything. If you're having, if really, just stick with the basic AVI, maybe MP4, but I don't even think this does MP4. Okay, MPEG-4. So, but yeah, so those are just things you have to consider with this. And the actual process of exporting can take some time. With a 15-minute video, I had to just leave it in the background for like 30, 35 minutes for it to finish processing through the video and combining all of my clips. And I feel like I've gone through and actually shown you that before, although everything wasn't loaded in because I'd moved all the files around, so the computer got confused, or at least the program got confused. So yeah, another thing you can do if you wanted to change volume is something gets really loud, is just to lower this bar a little bit. That's one of your options. It just makes everything more quiet. If you think you're getting really loud at times, then that's another step you can take. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me today. Every time I have to record, I have to burp. It's so impolite. And then there are at least a few other things you can do. I do remember there was one tool where it actually lets you raise the volume up and down in certain areas. This is only good if you're actually including music in your filming as well. And yeah, that's fun. The ugliest background you can do right now. Get out of my way. So then, oh yeah, that was up there for a student. I can close out of this. My files were saved here. So I did make that stupid little music in the background of one video, and then I moved it somewhere. And I don't even know where it is. Anyway, so it's important that when you actually put in audio, if you did have some background music, first off, don't use anything copyrighted. Your video will be taken off of YouTube, even if it's unlisted. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So you want to find something that's royalty free, or something, use some program where you can generate your own music. And then you have to keep in mind also the level of your volume versus the level of the music. You can have music in the background, but it shouldn't be over or at the same level of you. It should be a little quieter. Let me get my hands up. A little quieter than you are, so that you're not, your audience is struggling to hear what you're saying. Your message should be clear, and then yeah, so all that. So let's just kick that all off of there. Was there anything else for me to talk about? Aside from me pushing back the due dates, I can at least get this stuff back up here. Yeah, so this is playing a different video entirely now. I wonder why. Oh, it's gone through a few videos in the background. Well, it was just, how many videos did this go through? Jeez. So yes, Saturday night, rough draft to me. On the 15th, we're doing the multimodal outline clash review. I'm changing that to clash review, not peer review. So we'll meet together on Wednesday, and you will all pipe up with your current plans of what you're going to be doing with your project in the multimodal form. Doesn't have to be anything concrete yet. Just something that's like a basic outline, like I'll be doing this, using this data, or something like that. And then, as I've changed, your polished draft of this paper will be due on Wednesday at midnight with a reflection. Excuse me. Reflection, once again, I'm not putting I just want at least 1 to 2 meaty paragraphs of your process. So what happened during your writing process? What changed? Was it better than the last paper? Was it less confusing? Does life just suck so bad and you wish everything would stop with these stupid deadlines? I'm better at censoring myself at home for some reason than I am in the class. Strange. But yeah, so that's just the basic thing that you should know about. I don't really have anything else for you, so you get to see my little bit of just a weird breakdown of when I was just getting super frustrated in typical old person fashion, when something wasn't working as it should, or at least I wasn't working as I should. But yeah, so those are your deadlines. And then with these portfolio submissions later this month, I will have something set up for our meetings. Like I said, I am going to be sticking to my 10 a.m. through 2 a.m. meeting times. Nothing past that, nothing sooner than that. So I will just try to work around your schedules as much as I can when we meet, so that I can get a good idea of how everything is going for your file portfolio, and then what needs to be in there. I'll also be including a list of everything that should be in that portfolio, but we'll cover that a bit later. As I mentioned in class on Wednesday, and in my in the video for those who weren't able to make it, the portfolio, it's not going to look like this. I'll have an actual breakdown of what your portfolio should look like. This is just what I have for one of my classes, and you're not going to have to worry about table of contents. I may, but considering nobody's ever gone through and shown me how to make a basic table of contents, at a later time, I will go ahead and explain to you all how to make a table of contents, especially those who are going into STEM fields. Having a table of contents is going to be really important for your future projects, and just having some information about it could really help, especially because these can be hyperlinked, and I could just go to a certain section with my writings and then just stuff like that. So this is just, something I did for another class. This is my portfolio for that class and all of the projects that we've done this semester. And then we have here my list of think alouds, which if in textual form, this is what the think alouds kind of look like. They could just be short little thoughts, little tangents. If you're using text to speak, it can get really, really strange and hard to understand. And the text speak will actually censor you. So good luck making sense of that. So that's what a majority of this is just think aloud. So yeah, so there's that. And let me get that off. So I don't have anything else to cover. I've already gone on for too long with trying to explain certain things and then failing at it so hard. So thank you all for watching. If you watched the whole thing, I hope I made everything clear once I got my head on straight. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and then just continue emailing me. You continue emailing me if you have any questions, please. So have a wonderful day.